What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Salt and Pauper Saturday video. And after my Hunting Familiars beating the meta episode, I had a ton of questions to asking about the Infinite and how it all works and how it wins. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to flip the camera down and we're going to take a look at some paper pauper playing. And I'm going to demonstrate the infinite loop as well as the ephemerate value loop. And hopefully that clears up some of the confusion and you guys understand the combo and the interaction points a little bit better. So let's take a look and jump into the intro, and I will see you guys on the tabletop. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to take a look at a pretty standard board state for the Familiars list. Now, the Familiars deck very specifically needs two of their primary card and namesake Sunscape Familiar. Now, this makes green and blue spells cost one less to play. Green and blue spells are going to be important in this deck. We are also going to start with an Archaeomancer. This is the primary engine. So when this enters the battlefield, you return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Now, that's going to be important for the Infinite. For the payoffs for the Infinite, we have two options. We have Godpharaoh's Faithful. Now, this is for your infinite life. And we have Sage's Road Denizen. Now, this is going to be for your infinite mill. This is how you win on the spot instead of just infinite life, which is more often than not a paper win condition. It's not always a win condition on MTGO because of the timer. So from here, we use a card called Ghostly Flicker. Now, this is going to be our full engine. Now, you'll notice the Ghostly Flicker costs 3 mana, and it exiles 2 artifact creatures or lands you control, then returns them to the battlefield. But because we have 2 Sunscape Familiars in play, this is only going to cost 1, so we can just get those out of the way. We're only going to be using a single island for this interaction, and these can be held up for interaction or whatever else we might have in our hand. So we're going to tap a blue. We are going to use this Ghostly Flicker to target an Archaeomancer and this island. What that's going to do is this is going to resolve. When this resolves, it's going to go off into our graveyard. These 2 cards are going to be exiled and then immediately re-enter play. The island will enter untapped, the Archaeomancer will enter play, and when Archaeomancer enters the battlefield, you get to get an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. You guessed it, we're going to target this Ghostly Flicker and get it back. Now we have demonstrated a loop where we are at the exact same board position, but we have casted a spell, we have gained 1 life, and we have milled 2 cards. So you can just repeat that as often as you would like until your opponent is dead or they concede to infinite life. Now, additionally, there are a few other cards that have very similar interactions. Namely, the other version of Archaeomancer, Ardent Elementalist. This is a red version, but it's a 2-1 instead of a 1-2, and it still costs 4 mana. And then we have Mnemonic Wall, which is a 0-4 for 5. All of them have the same effect. When they enter the battlefield, you get an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard back. Now, there is also Ephemerate. Now, Ephemerate doesn't go truly infinite on the turn you cast it. However, it is an overall value loop. When you cast this Ephemerate, you can target the Archaeomancer to get a value spell back. In the case of the Boros Ephemerate deck that I've been playing lately, you would get back this Prismatic Strands or another Ephemerate or whatever it is that you need out of your graveyard. This then is going to be exiled and cast again from exile on your next upkeep. On your next upkeep, you are going to cast it again, target the Archaeomancer, or in Boros' case, this Ardent Elementalist. This will go to the graveyard, this will flicker, and when it re-enters play, it will see this Ephemerate in the graveyard, target it with its ability, return it to your hand, and now you have this Prismatic Strands in hand and your original Ephemerate. So you're able to continue that process, but you can do it in a few other ways. It doesn't just have to be targeting this Archaeomancer. Now, if you have anything in play that has an enter the battlefield value effect, you can use those as well. say you have a Stonehorn Dignitary, a Palace Sentinels, or a Goliath Paladin. If you were to ephemerate this Stonehorn Dignitary, stop your opponent from attacking the next turn. And then on the rebound, you can target this Elementalist. This will go away. Elementalist leaves play, returns, gets the ephemerate back, and now you can target the Stonehorn again and continue the loop. This is an infinite 1 per turn. Your opponent will never have another combat step. Similarly, you can use things like Goliath Paladin and Sentinels. When they enter the play, you gain the initiative or the Monarch. So if your opponent has at any point stolen either of those emblems or both, you just pick the one you need back, and ephemerate flickers to get it back, and then the rebound will target Elementalist to get the ephemerate back, and you continue the loop as needed. Same with this Prismatic Strands. You can use this to stop combat damage, and then flicker the Elementalist to get it back, and then on upkeep, cast from rebound, get the ephemerate back, and you're left with both again. So I hope this helps a little bit understand where the triggers are and where your interaction points are. So keep in mind that when the second cast of Ephemerate from Rebound happens, if you kill its target, it will still go to the graveyard, but they will not get it back. And in the case of Familiars, if they are going with this combo, 1 killing Sunscape Familiar in response to a Ghostly Flicker will increase the cost of Ghostly Flicker to stop it from being infinite. You can also kill the Archaeomancer, which is going to allow the Ghostly Flicker to go to the graveyard and the Archaeomancer to be destroyed. So you have a couple of different interaction points, both when the Archaeomancer triggers to get Ghostly Flicker back and when Ghostly Flicker is casted, targeting these two things. They will still get to untap their island, as if Ghostly Flicker resolves with only one of its 2 targets, it will still affect that one target, but you have a few points at which you can interact with their combo. So I hope that this helps you guys. As usual, thank you so much for sticking it out with the video this week. I will actually be at the California Cube Championships in Santa Rosa on Saturday and Sunday. For any of you guys that will be there, come say hi. I have tokens to give out and would love to say hi to you guys. So as usual, goodbye forever unless I see you next time. Peace out, and I'll see you next week.